friends, today we are making my favorite fast, easy meal. Again, I have a lot of these. This is the Mississippi pot roast, and this one we're gonna show you how to do it in less than 5 minutes. It's gonna take 20 to 30 minutes to prepare, but we're gonna fast forward for a few steps. So you make sure you have 30 minutes of your time to get this done, and then it takes time to cook. So if you have an Instapot, we're talking 45 minutes to an hour. If you have a crock pot, we're talking about 6 to 8 hours. It turns out beautiful either way. It just depends on whatever method of cooking you prefer. Let's start with the ingredients. We're gonna have 2.5 pounds of roast. We're gonna have half a jar of pepperoncinis. I chose the sliced ones, and then half a jar of the pepperoncini liquid. We're gonna do a cup of the Better Than Bouillon broth, beef broth, in warm water. 1 full stick of butter, 2 tablespoons of the ranch seasoned dressing, or just one of the packets if you pick it up in the store, and 1 envelope of onion soup mix. And I mix those together and we put that on the meat as we put it into the Instapot. We've been sauteing some onions to get them nice and delicious, and we'll leave those in there. We're gonna add our potatoes and just throw them on top and close the pot to cook for 45 minutes. It'll take some time to get up to pressure. But we're not slicing these because then they'll get to be too mushy. So they say you can cook it for a while and then put the potatoes in, but ain't nobody got time to stop and keep going back and forth. We're just gonna throw it in the Instapot and see what happens. All right, so before we start, we wanna sear our meat on a hot skillet with just a little bit of salt. And then once you get this going for about 3 to 5 minutes per side, you can salt the other half. So we're gonna let that brown. Over here, we're gonna do garlic bread. Our garlic bread spread consists of half a stick of butter, 2 tablespoons of Best Food mayonnaise, 2 tablespoons of Parmesan cheese, and 2 garlic cloves. We blend it all together, and then we generously will put it on this delicious sourdough bread, and we'll bake that, open face, for about 5 to 10 minutes until it's delicious golden brown. All right, once the meat browns, we're gonna flip it over to brown the other side. We'll come back and we have seared all sides of our meat, so we're gonna lock in that flavor. Before we do that, we are going to deglaze the bottom of our Instapot because we did add the sauteed onions. We don't wanna get a burn, notice. So we are going to add our onions, add our broth to the onions. Stir this around to make sure we get all the little pieces up. Okay, and then we are going to put in our little tray here and stack in our meats. This is 2.5 pounds, so really it should feed 6 to 8 people. This will feed the 4 of us, and we will have little leftovers. Okay, we're going to put in the onion soup mix and the ranch dressing mix. Make sure it gets all over. I'm gonna reserve a little bit because I'm going to also put in the potatoes. So I want to have some on there. And then the pepperoncinis. The recipe itself only calls for 3 or 4 pepperoncinis and then half the juice, but I like pepperoncinis, so I'm adding them all. I don't know if I'm going to have room for all my potatoes. Let's cut the ends off of this. That's how you make room. All right, and then the piece de resistance. 1 cube butter. I'm gonna cut it in half because my potatoes are so big. Put half over here, half over there, and top off with the rest of the seasonings. Oh, So good. Okay, we are gonna lock our lid into place. Push the anti-vent. We are going to turn meat on for 45 minutes. And it'll take a few minutes to get it to pressure. And that should be done in about an hour. We'll see you then. Okay, it's been cooking for an hour and releasing pressure for 30 minutes. Okay, so these potatoes are just falling apart, which is exactly how we want. Look at that piece of meat. Yum, yum, yum. Okay. All right, look at this. Just a little piece of heaven. Now you can eat this over these potatoes here, or you can eat it by itself, which is what we usually do. Over noodles, I've seen some people do it. I don't like noodles personally for this. Okay, this is it. Garlic bread, Mississippi pot roast, and golden potatoes. We're looking forward to a good dinner.